Hi, and welcome to Knit in the City. The light in here is ridiculous, and I will post a picture. I will put a picture on the screen of what the sky looks like today, and then you will understand why this is happening. I mean, it's 11 a.m. It's not going to get any better than this. So, with artificial light, let's hope that this is going to work out anyway. Today I am going to have a WIP-parade ready for you, or I'm not going to, I have a WIP-parade ready for you, where I go through all of my WIPs. I talk about the pattern, the knitting experience, why it's not done yet, and also whether I feel like finishing it or not. I think I'm actually going to finish most of these things. I tried when I did my evaluation of last year's goals to to make I did a make 9 of my UFOs, because there are lots of UFOs in this so-called WIP-parade. But I did a make 9 UFOs, and I showed that in the episode, and I will also show that here. The pictures of my make 9. I couldn't make an unmake 9 because I don't have 9 things that I want to frog. But, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I will just start with the projects that I have on hand. I think there are somewhat over 20 projects on my needles currently. And I really hope to reduce those to 10 before the year is over. This is very difficult because even though I finish things, I tend to start new things in a more rapid fashion. So that. Okay, the first one that I'm not going to talk about these in any order. Some of these are really old, some of these are quite recent. The first one I'm going to talk about is on my lap, and it is the Lima pullover by Sara Nordlund. And I'm sure many of you have seen this design before. This has not been on my needles for a super long time, and I'm also about to finish it. The first sleeve is done, and I have actually started working on the second one. So, I mean, this is not going to take more than a couple of weeks before I can finish it. I mean, I really love this yoke. How pretty is that? And like I said, sorry about the light. There's really nothing I can do about it, because I think because there is so little light coming from my window, I need to use lamps, and the lamps that I have, they're not studio lights. I think they're too warm, and that's why it gives the colors get distorted. So yeah, sorry about that, but I should probably get better lights. Money is a bit tight at the moment, so if I can find any cheap ones that are good, maybe, then unfortunately it has to be like this for a little bit longer until the light starts coming back to this country. Thank you and please. Or the other way around. But yeah, I am knitting in Drops Lima, this brown color. Yeah. And this is Klippans tvåtrådiga, which is a 2-ply 100% wool yarn that I'm holding together because it's a sport weight. It does get a little bit thicker than the Lima when I hold it together, but I don't think it matters that much. It's not a big difference. I mean, this is a super fun knit. It has quite, what do you say, invisible increases here on the yoke, which are kind of they're not fun to make. That's the only thing I didn't enjoy about this. I love the yoke design. This is going to be warm and cozy. This is going to become a double folded collar once I'm done. I'm going to sew it down. Or maybe I won't, because it looks kind of good as a turtleneck as well. Well, we will see about that. But yeah, this is not long. I will be finished with this. The next one is a more long-standing WIP. I'm inclined to call it a UFO at this point. I mean, if it's been lying around for a month or more, I consider it a UFO, and this has. And now it's coming off the needles as well. That's fine. I mean, this is a rustic yarn, so these stitches will be easy to pick up. This is the body of my Fastos kofta, which means auntie's cardigan. And this is a pattern by Maja Karlsson from her book Kofto, which means cardigans, where she has 20 cardigans in one book, which is great. Most of them have a take on a traditional Nordic pattern. Yes. Unfortunately, this book only comes in Swedish, I think. Maybe that will change down the line, but it's a really nice book. This is the body that I have finished. It is really short, but I am planning to wear this over a dress. If I feel like it's too short after I've attached the arms or the sleeves, I could add a bit of length. It looks like this. This is also Klippans tvåtrådiga, this purplish gray color. But the white yarn, I don't have the ball here, it's on the other side of the table. But this white yarn is Libbsticka, finsk lantras, which is a Finnish sheep breed. These are both 100% wool yarns. The white yarn is, they are both rustic, but the white yarn is a bit more shiny and a little bit softer. This cardigan is steeked, as you can see. I haven't steeked it yet, but like this. And it would of course have been a pain if you were to knit this back and forth. I did start the sleeve, which I have here. And I made a mistake, because here you're supposed to put your initials. And she has a chart where you can put your initials, so it's empty in the middle. But then it doesn't have these two little thingies. So when I knit from that chart, I didn't knit these. And that made the whole thing look funny. So I had to go rip back and fix it again. So I haven't done anything with this after that. It's gonna be a mess here quite soon, but hopefully you can't see that. The next one here is one of my socks from the sock craze of 2023 that I'm still suffering from. And this is Vervain from the book 52 Weeks of Socks. And this is the front of the sock. I mean, here is the... Maybe I should just go get my sock blocker so you can see it properly. Okay, so this is better. These are my homemade sock blockers that are made to the measurements of my foot. I just YouTubed this and found a great tutorial. They're not very pretty, but they're very good, because after I block my sock, it fits perfectly, even if it may have been a bit small to begin with. But yeah, they have this really pretty lace pattern going down the foot. The yarn I knit this with is Emililyknits Dreamy silk, which is a hand-dyed yarn. It is really pretty. This is a merino silk blend. It doesn't have any nylon in it, and you may all think I'm crazy, but to be honest, and you may have heard of me ranting about this before, but silk is like extremely sturdy. The best sock yarn I have ever used is the Regia Sock, I think, or just Regia silk, I don't know. It is a sock yarn. I think it does, I don't know if it has nylon or not, but it has silk and it has wool. And these socks I've had for, I don't know, 15 years. And just now they're starting to show, not holes, there are no holes in these socks, but the yarn is thinning in some places. And normally with a regular sock yarn wool nylon blend, I get holes in them after, I don't know, 6 months of wear. If it's a merino yarn, it's going to be quicker. So I really believe in the silk, in the strength of the silk. But we will see. These are fancy socks, so I'm not going to be wearing them on an everyday basis anyway. I knit the first sock, and this lace pattern, it takes a while to make. I haven't started the second sock, so this is a case of second sock syndrome. I really want to finish them. They're super pretty. I will at some point. The next one is also a sock, quite different from the previous one. Now I got stuck in some yarn here. And this is, what is this sock called? It will be on the screen. Something like "and the horse you rode in on," I think. Yeah, these are really fun. Unfortunately, this pattern is not available anymore. I have knit these with, I think this is Drops Fabel, and this is a hand-dyed neon pink. This is Knitricious Msock yarn. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but everything will be in the description box down below. Yes. The thing with this is these hands continue under the foot. Sorry about that. And I decided to make stripes instead. Then I changed my mind, ripped it out. And then when I started again, I realized that it wasn't going to work. There was a reason I had made stripes. And I think, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was because these only came in one size and it was too small for me and I had to make adjustments. I'm not sure. But I ripped it out for no reason, and that is really annoying. And I don't want to re-knit something that I already knit and ripped out just willy-nilly. So that's why this one has been lying around. But I mean, these are really fun. I would like to finish them. Maybe I should start the second sock, and then I don't have to think about this debacle. Right. The next one is The Simple Thing by Melina Brell. And this looks quite a lot like the Sophie scarf, but it's wider. I will hold it up to, so it is the same, it has the same I-cord edgings and the garter stitch body. What I did, I had one ball of Knitting for Olive merino and one ball of Isager silk mohair that I held together. So this is the Cherry Blossom, and this one is a bit more of a dirty pink. It's really hard to tell because I don't have any skeins here. And the reason for that is that I was thinking to only use one ball of each, but the increases here are quite rapid. This is a free pattern, by the way. So once I got here, I was out of yarn, and I just felt like if I was just to use one ball of each, this was going to be very small and useless. I mean, the really small scarves I don't have any use for. So I actually got a ball of the Knitting for Olive from a friend who made a sweater and had one ball left. The Isager yarn I need to purchase. It is quite expensive and you can't find it just anywhere. I know of one yarn store, which is quite far away from where I live. I think it's like an hour's drive. And I don't feel like going there just for one ball of yarn. Also, if I'm to order this online, I would have to pay shipping, which is also annoying for just one ball of yarn. So that's why this has been lying around. But hopefully I will find my way to this yarn store at some point. Maybe my yarny friends would like to go on a road trip. I don't know. Yes, but I will finish it as soon as I have the yarn. Oh, the next one. This is definitely a UFO. I am so annoyed with this. I started this years ago as a birthday present for my mother. And this is Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry. This yarn is gorgeous. It's hand-dyed. It is, I think it is Fru Valborg. And it is, I mean, she doesn't dye yarns any longer. I bought these on a sale years ago. And this is a silk mohair. And the merino looks like this. Oh, I had some plates there left over from breakfast. This knit is like, it's super pretty. It's a bit boring. After a while I felt like I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna rip this out, and it is completely impossible. I did all the things. I put it in the freezer. Didn't make a difference at all. I mean, I've broken the mohair in so many places. I mean, look at this. You just can't. It's impossible. So I have now decided to, because I ripped out a few of these bands, and now I have to re-knit this slog project that I already knit once. So you can understand how horrible this feels, that I have to just, yeah. Oh, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna do this. If I could have ripped it out, I would have, but alas, I cannot. The next one has also caused me some troubles. I have to be honest. This is part of my plant fiber debacles that I had the last summer. This is the Cumulus Tea. I am knitting this in the lovely tynn line from Sandnes garn. And I started knitting this. I mean, I picked the size that I was supposed to pick according to the pattern, which was the extra large. And was that extra large? It was X. There were so many X's on this thing. I mean, this was a tent. So I ripped it out. I started knitting. I went down 2 sizes because it was just so huge. I started knitting a medium. And when I mean, I was probably somewhere at this point again when I tried it on, and it's still way too big. So then I don't remember if I went down to a small or if I think I only ripped it out until I had separated for the sleeves, and then started decreasing to get down to an extra small. And can you believe it? It's still, I mean, it's fine over the bust, but after that, it's just, there's so much fabric from the bust down, and it kind of looks like my stomach goes all the way out to my bust, which I don't really appreciate. I don't know what to do with this. Maybe I should just finish it and see how I feel once I start wearing it, because this fabric is really flowy and drapey. So perhaps when you're out and about and moving around, it doesn't look as bad. In every other way, I really like the look of this. And I think I'm going to make a version in wool, preferably with long sleeves, which shouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, it's still too cold to be working on this. Not that it's a problem that it's cold, but when it's cold, I want to knit with wool, of course. So when spring comes around, I'll pick it back up, because I mean, I do want the t-shirt. It's like a really nice casual t-shirt, and it has a v-neck, which is also great. Love the yarn. I will do my best. I will also hope for the best. So let's see what happens. The next one, I have yarn everywhere now. And these things are just... Okay, this is another sock. This is also a sock from 52 Weeks of Socks that I haven't finished. This also has... I mean, this is not just lace. There are some wrapped stitches in here too, which of course takes a lot of time when you have to wrap stitches. And I think it's even on every other row, or round, of course. I'm not sure. This is like a 4-round repeat, this chart, which makes it really tedious, because it's super boring to have to just repeat the same things over and over and over again. And this lace pattern just continues all the way down the foot. And this is the first sock, so not much has happened with this. I am knitting this in Drops Fabel. The red yarn here is a hand dyer, a Swedish hand dyer, called Moods of Colors. And the gray yarn is, I don't know, some cheap wool yarn, sock yarn. Yeah. So I do want to finish them. I think they're pretty, but yeah, I don't know when I'm going to feel like it again. We'll see. The next one is a wrap cardigan, which is something that I don't have. I don't have a knitted wrap cardigan. I don't think I have a wrap cardigan at all in my wardrobe. So this is something I'm excited to have. This is the Ballerina Wrap Top by Alexandra Tavel, or 2 of Wands. You can get this pattern for free from her website. You can also pay for it, and then you don't need to get a lot of ads in the pattern. This is what the fabric looks like. I don't remember why I stopped knitting on it. Yeah, probably because I needed the needles for something else that was more exciting, because I can see that I removed them. This is Järbo Raggi, which is a sock yarn with some bamboo content. And this is Dale garn, thin merino, I think it's called. Oh, it'll be down there. And this is like a variegated, it's really pretty with all kinds of pastels. And this green is in here somewhere. I don't know if you can tell. I really like the combination. The mohair is really soft. And yeah, they look really good together. I mean, this is quite boring. This is just stockinette back and forth. And as you can see, it is a raglan construction. And I will definitely finish this, because I think it's going to be really pretty and quite wearable. And the next one is a lace shawl that I started years ago, when lace shawls were all the rage. And this also has beads in it. This is the Haruni by Emily Ross. I don't know if you can see the beads. I think you can. This is knit in Malabrigo lace. And this is a really thin yarn, as you could guess from the name. I couldn't find the beads, but I kept knitting without beads. I don't think it matters. It has some beads. It has beads on some parts of the shawls. It doesn't on others. The reason I stopped knitting on this years and years ago was because I made a mistake and I didn't know how to correct it. When I picked this back up, I remembered this as a really complicated knit. When I picked it back up, I realized it really wasn't, but that's obviously because I have grown, I have learned through the years, and now this is not a problem anymore, which is great. The reason I stopped knitting on it again is that this is all the yarn that I have left, and this has like a really pretty border around it, which seems to be eating yarn, I don't know. But I was lucky enough to have a really nice viewer send me some more of this yarn. I mean, I don't know where I have that ball, but it's a little bit smaller than this. But since this yarn is so thin, it will probably be enough to finish the shawl. So that's amazing. I'm gonna finish this. Don't know when. I mean, this is also maybe not the most wearable thing because it's so delicate, but yeah, I will definitely finish it and I will wear it when I can. I mean, this yarn is incredibly soft. I think it's merino wool. Yeah. Okay, the next one is a sad story. This is the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose, the very popular pattern that everyone has knitted. I already have one of these knit in a thicker yarn. I think it's a DK weight bamboo yarn. This is 100% cotton yarn. It's a fingering weight. I don't have the ball here because I ran out of yarn binding it off. This one I also decided to make sleeves, like a short sleeve, because the first one is just bound off after finishing the yoke, and I don't like that look because my arms are, I have sturdy arms, so I wanted a bit of a sleeve. I had 2 skeins or 2 hanks of this yarn, which you cannot buy anymore. This is a lovely yarn. I mean, it is cotton. It is, and cotton is not my favorite kind of plant fiber or fiber at all, but this is just, it's so soft. It drapes really nicely. I mean, it's such a great yarn. I can't believe they stopped selling it. And I knew I had 2 hanks. This is 1 hank. This is 50 grams of fingering weight cotton. I mean, I know it's kind of see-through, but that's fine. You could wear a tank top underneath. I cannot find the second one, which means I cannot finish this. And I'm crying inside because this is just such a shame. But yeah, maybe one day I will stumble over this hank of yarn that I know I have somewhere. So yeah, that happened. The next one is the Never Ending Story sweater, which is not super old. This is a pattern from a German designer. Can't remember her name. Yeah, Susanne Müller. Yes. So here it is. This is a half brioche. And I mean, I think this is usually the right side. But here, it's the inside that is used as the outside, so to speak. This has a dropped shoulder construction, and I really like the shoulder seams here. I'll call them seams even though they're not, because this is knit in one piece. Yeah, I mean, this is going to look really nice once I finish it. It is a slog to knit on, I have to admit. I really like this color as well. And I mean, half brioche, any kind of brioche is just gonna, it eats a lot of yarn. It takes forever to knit because you have to knit, I think with a full-on brioche, you knit every row twice. And here it's like 1.5 times. The yarn I'm knitting this with is Viking Garn Trend Merino, which is a non-superwash merino yarn that is quite lovely. Yeah, it takes some time, and when it's not a very exciting knit, so when I want something simple to just be chewing on, that's when I pick this up. I haven't felt that way recently. I have had more exciting things to be working on, but I will definitely finish it. I feel excited to wear it. The next one, my throat today. The next one is a shawl, the Snefald shawl from Fiber Tales. Snefald means snowfall in Danish, and you actually knit this shawl in the round. So these are steek stitches. I am going to cut this open once it's finished, and it has a stranded color work, and you work with 3 colors. But actually, I got a comment on this last time I talked about this from a great, I mean, this was a great tip one of my viewers had, that you could just slip the third color and then knit that on the next round. So I'm definitely going to try that. It has some bubbles here. Yeah, and the reason I stopped was because I got to the third color. But now I got this tip and I will pick it back up. I do have a few sweaters that I want to finish. I mean, like the Lima, which is really close to getting finished. So I will do that first before I sink my teeth into this. I'm knitting this in svensk ull, which means Swedish wool, from Järbo. And I have this charcoal gray, this teal. I mean, these are dyed on a gray base, which makes them look really pretty. And then I don't have the other skins, but there is a light gray here as well. And then there's a medium gray that I haven't used yet. And this one will also be finished. It's going to be really nice and cozy when it's cold outside, which it is right now. I think it's like 2 degrees or something like that. Okay, the next one I have talked about quite a lot before, I think. Nothing has happened since I last talked about it. Nothing has happened with this in a long time, which annoys me a little bit. This is quite difficult to show because it's just all over the place, and I have several knitting needles inserted here. And this is the 9 p.m. tank from Tiffany Tie. And you knit the front panel, the back panel, then you pick up stitches and make these double knit edges. Then you pick up under the arm for the strap, which is also double knitted. And that is not a lot of fun. So I am about to pick up for the second strap on this side. I think I'm gonna love this once it's finished. I'm not loving the process of it. This is a made to measure pattern. So you take your measurements and you put all your numbers into a sheet that calculates how many stitches you cast on and decrease and increase and all of that. I am knitting this in Yarn Wick Blenda Gotland, which is a merino Gotland blend, and it is lovely and soft, and I intend to wear this next to skin, of course, which it lends itself perfectly to. This beige is a little more pink than it comes off in this light. Yeah. Right, the next one. Now I can't see what I have here, so... Oh, these are my Christmas socks that I didn't finish this year either. It is Järbo by Evelina Rose. I have actually been knitting a little bit on this, even if you probably can't tell. I have... This is the heel here, which is an afterthought heel. So I now have to knit the whole leg and then pick up the stitches for the heel and knit that last. But I'm happy to have finished the foot at least. On the top of the leg there is like a little border with laurel leaves, which are... Can I find this here? No, it fell out. Which I'm going to use this green color for. This is a Regia yarn. It's called Regia Winter Stars. It's a sock yarn. And this is Järbo Raggi, which is also a sock yarn. And the white yarn is some cheap thing I got from a store. I'm not really sure what it was. But that is also a wool nylon blend. So basically a sock yarn. Right. What else? Yeah, I also started to make a collar for myself. This is the Vima collar by Sari Nordlund. It looks a bit funny. It's supposed to have cables down the front here. and then it's a moss stitch pattern on the shoulders. And this collar is supposed to be folded over. It's a 2-2 rib. This has a lot of short rows in it, and it's quite an involved knit, and I think that's why I stopped knitting on it. I was also knitting on it not that long before Christmas, and I had a few Christmas presents that I wanted to finish, so that's also why it fell to the wayside. I am knitting this in a merino yarn, this thick one. I'm not sure what it is because I don't have any ball bands. I'm holding it with a mohair, and also don't know what the mohair is. I'm not even sure if this is a silk mohair or if it's like a mohair nylon blend. I'm thinking the latter because it's not very soft, but it will make it warm, and it looks pretty nice with a fluffy halo. I will finish this when I feel like it. I don't know if it's going to be this winter. Maybe, maybe not. But I have been wanting a collar for quite some time. And I picked this because it was pretty and I already had the pattern in my library. But maybe I would have wanted it to be a little simpler. Yeah. Okay, the next one is also a collar, and I'm a bit ashamed to be talking about this because I made this for my father for Christmas, and as we all know, it's not Christmas anymore. And I mean, I have used the Lima collar pattern for this one, but I omitted all of the cables and the moss stitch, and I'm just making this whole thing in a 2-2 rib. And also this part here, the chest part and the back part, I made them a lot shorter than in the pattern, so it just goes down the jacket. And I am making a I-cord edging around it, and this is also supposed to be folded over. The yarn is Adlibris Socki Plus, which is a thicker sock yarn. And I have already made him a pair of fingerless mitts and a hat with this yarn. And I still had some balls left, so that's why I decided to make the collar. And I will finish it. He has his birthday on the 2nd of February. So, I mean, we're now in the end of January, so I'm not sure. I regret having said that. I'm not sure I'm going to finish it in time for his birthday. But whenever he gets it, he will get it. It's getting... I'm getting to the bottom of the bin now. This next one is a cardigan, a cabled cardigan. And this is the August cardigan from Johanna Gehrisch. I have not gotten very far because of Christmas presents, but if you look closely at this, I mean, this is actually a fun knit, but let's see, I think you can see that when this cable is turned here, and then the next time I'm turning it, I turned it too late. So you can see the distance here is bigger than it is here. And this annoys me. And I don't know why I kept knitting. I should have just ripped back. And I'm going to rip back because I've decided I can't live with this because it's going to show. And even if no one else sees it, I am going to see it. And now you all are going to see it as well. Okay, so this is obviously a top-down construction. It has a raglan seam, which is really pretty because that's also a cable. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the raglan line, so to speak, and there is of course one here as well. You start by making the button band, like You start at the back neck, knit one way, then pick up stitches, knit the other way, and then you pick up stitches for the body. This pattern has a chart, which does not include anything but the cables, which is super annoying. So I actually gave up on the pattern and just knitted the way I wanted to. I put these markers here where the increases are going to go, and I have different colors for which way the increase is leaning, if it's a right leaning or a left leaning. Now I don't remember which color represents which, because I haven't touched this in at least a month. I think it's more than that even. But yeah, I will definitely finish it. It's going to be really pretty. The yarn is Sandnes Sisu, which I really like. And it's a yarn that lends itself perfectly to cables because it's like round and bouncy. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, it's gonna get finished, but I do have some ripping back to do before that, and that's never fun. Okay, the next one is one that is going to be finished really soon, probably today. And I will put it on my sock blocker because the first sock is done. This is Raggsocka from Järbo, and it's a free pattern. And I don't know how to translate Raggsocka, but it means like a thicker sock. That is quite common where I'm from. I'm knitting this in Järbo Raggi, which is I think it's an Aran weight actually. So these are going to be really thick and cozy. I'm having trouble getting it on the sock blocker because it is quite bendy. I made it from cardboard and like this thick kind of tape. Yeah, just working away here. Okay, now it's on the sock blocker. This is just a 2-2 rib. In the pattern, the rib stops here, but I really like to continue the rib down the foot actually. So this is like a baby pink. I don't know if you can see that in this horrible light. But yeah, so I finished the first sock. It's knit top down. And finished with Kitchener stitch at the toe. It doesn't look very good. I don't know why my Kitchener stitch sometimes looks so horrible, but yeah, there you go. And this is how far I've come on the second sock. So I already started decreasing for the toe. So I mean, it's like half an hour's work, and then we're done, which I'm really happy about. And yeah, my box is empty now, but I have 2 more projects on the floor right here behind me. And this is a summer knit. This is the Kylie pullover from Irene Lin, and I am knitting this in Drops Bell. I have started the first sleeve, so this is what it looks like. It has cables and a lace pattern in between the this is a simple eyelet thing between the cables. And here is the first sleeve. It's not long enough. It's like it's quite a long 3/4 sleeve. But they're going to be full length. And I mean, this was a really fun knit until I had done this pattern for a really long time and got tired of it, and autumn was coming along and I wanted to knit with wool instead. I also nicked the needles from this one because this is a knit on 4mm needles, which is a needle size that I use a lot. I kind of need more of those 4mm needles, but that's beside the point. I will definitely finish this in time for summer. I'm very excited to wear it, and yeah, not much more to say about that. The last thing that I have on my needles is a sock that I'm trying to write a pattern for, and I have knit let's see if I can open this thing. I have knit almost 3 socks. Or, I mean, I think it's 3 altogether if you count that I started a second one. So I'm making 3 sizes. This is the smallest one. And this is just a really simple knit purl pattern. The yarn is a Sandnes yarn. And it is called, I have to check the ball band, Sisu. So this is the smallest size. This is the second size, which is my size. This fits me perfectly, so really happy about that. I started the second sock with this one, and then I realized I only need to make 1 of each to be able to finish the pattern. So while I was knitting this one, I wrote the pattern. Then I knit this one from the pattern. And the third one, I'm working on the heel right now, the biggest size. I'm also knitting from the pattern, just to check that all the numbers are correct and that this is intelligible. And it's going to be a free pattern because, I mean, it is a really simple sock. And yeah, that was actually the last WIP on my needles. This is actually a WIP because I have been knitting on this. I made this this heel last week, I think. Yes, I did not make a December roundup episode because I chose to do the everything I knit in 2024 instead. I will have a January roundup. I'll probably make it next weekend because I am behind on filming, and with the light being what it is, I can only make 1 video a day. So I mean, when summer comes, I mean, you can film all day, even into the evening. But yeah, this is problematic. So probably I will make that next week. And I hope to see you all then. I hope you enjoyed this embarrassing little parade. I also hope that I will be able to finish most of these in the beginning of this year, like at least before March. Because then I will start planning for my spring knits. And there will obviously be an episode about that too. I'm also really excited to be making an episode about my capsule wardrobe, because I want to be a bit more conscious about what I knit and not just pick, oh, this is pretty, oh, this is pretty, but just knit pieces that I need in my wardrobe, that are going to look good on me, they're going to be just blending with my style and things like that. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you want to tag along with all of my adventures in the upcoming year. Bye bye!